Today I got these two new parts that I've been trying to get for a few years now. I ended up buying something similar to this before and I ended up getting scammed. So now that I have these parts, I can actually put them on. This has been like a long time coming, but I'm really happy that I got these two parts. I ended up getting these parts a lot quicker, and like the customer service was incredible. So first up is this water pump adapter I got from JDL manufacturing. Now, if you watch any of my previous videos, you know that I do not run a traditional water pump for my 13B. I actually have an electric water pump that sits underneath my radiator. So I have to run one of these, which is fantastic to have because I can run one less pulley. A few things about this that I like is that one of them is it has a coolant plug that has GM threads. So if the sensor ever goes faulty, I can just go and grab one from an auto parts store, and it's a good chance they'll have it readily available. If I had like a Mazda fluid sensor threads, I probably have to wait for a couple of days. It also has a radiator cap housing thing. I don't know what it's called, I forgot. But again, if you've seen any of my previous videos, you know that my radiator does not have any place to put a radiator cap. That's because when I was building my radiator setup, I had plans to have a radiator cap on my adapter. I did buy a water pump gasket housing because I think that the gasket I have right now is pretty mangled of all the times I kept bending it back and forth. I'm going to keep this just in case if the gasket I have on right now leaks in the future when I start this thing up. But just let you know, I do have a gasket if it fails. Yeah, that gasket is pretty mangled. The adapter is on and it looks pretty damn clean. I did put my Mishimoto radiator cap on here. Now, when I got it, I didn't think it was going to be carbon fiber. It looks pretty cool. I love carbon fiber, so it all worked out. I did forget my plug at home. I'll put it on next time when I get there. This is done. It looks really simple, looks really small, and this is perfect because when I start routing my lines, they're gonna go straight through and go underneath this area in here to the radiator. Time to move on to the next part I was waiting on. Next, I got these ignition coil brackets. First seen them off of Dave Mazay's 5 rotor, and I thought, hey, that looks pretty cool, so I got a pair myself. These are not cheap. I think this was like $85 or like $185 per bracket. I don't know if that's like affordable or not. They are supposed to be very low profile, which is perfect because my oil filler sits pretty close to the engine, so this should be able to clear what I need to clear for the coils. I tried to get a video of putting these brackets on, but this is such a tight fit, like really tight. Probably could have made this easier if I just would have took off the throttle body, but I wasn't going to do that. But they are on. You can see how close the first one is, right next to my oil filler, and then the rear one have a little bit of spacing. You are able to move these brackets left and right. That's what I did, and made some room for my oil temp sensor. On this side, I pushed it as far as I can towards the front so I can try to get as much room. So if you think that after installing these parts, I'm done, and you may be right, but not this time. Got something else that I actually got before the brackets and the water adapter, in which are these 4 small boxes, but they're not just any small box. They are my ignition coil for my ignition coil brackets. So I'm gonna put these on real quick. Unfortunately, I can't record it while I'm doing it because of how tight the space is. I'm gonna show you how it looks once they're on. I got the ignition coils on. Unfortunately, I had to take off the throttle body. 2 top coils, and this one bottom coil was coming into contact. These 2 was coming into contact with the throttle body, and then this one was coming in contact with my oil filler, so I had to take that stuff off. And then I also took the time and put this wiring harness on. That's rather long for this build, so eventually I'm gonna have to cut this and make it fit. But other than that, I mean, everything is set up, done. It's gonna suck because I know I'm gonna have to cut this bracket to get everything to fit and possibly slim down these spacers for the ignition coil. So now with both of these on, I am officially caught up with all the parts that I bought over the past few years. Now I can start buying new things. I've actually bought something 2 months ago that I have now that is, I think, one of the biggest purchases I made besides the engine. I can't wait to start working on that, because that's make this car like maybe 90% done, maybe 85 to 90% ready to start, and I just have to get to it. So till next time, I'll see you.